Hi guys, I'm your host Lady Keyz, and on today's episode of VE Music, we're interviewing one of St. Vincent's most talented upcoming musician, artist, producer and songwriter. Welcome, CJ Productions.
Thank you.
You got something that I need.
So welcome, Calroy Joseph, aka CJ Productions. So tell the audience where you're from and what school did you attend?
So I'm originally from Riley Village, so I grew up in Riley. Later on moved to Kelboni. In Riley, originally I started off in Evesham Methodist School, which is alma mater, one of the best schools in St. Vincent. Brought up some very good artists such as Scorpion and Hans John. Later on I attended St. Martin's Secondary School, which again is one of the best schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then move on to St. Vincent Community College.
Okay, so what are your main reasons why you got into music?
So I got into music as a way to ease stress, to be honest. So when I have a rough day, I normally would come home and play the piano, or I pick up the saxophone, or I just listen to normal music. But as time went on, I got a bit more interested in the production of music. I started off by recording saxophone just for fun, and thankfully my wife saw the talent that I have, and she bought the mics that I currently have in my studio. They were both bought by her, and she kept on encouraging me to get into music production, and also from songwriting as well. She really liked the lyrics and the vibe that I pushed from some of the songs that I've written in the past as well.
Okay, well, you moved into my next question, so we'll move on from there. Who is your favorite local artist?
So that's a very difficult question, to be honest. I have a couple favorite local artists from St. Vincent. I'm gonna name 4. So Scorpion, he's always been one of my top favorite artists in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Beautiful vocals. He's one of the best vocalists in St. Vincent, to be honest. When it comes to music. Hans John, who I sang with in primary school, also a very good artist. As you know, he won Soca Monarch and all that. He's quite good at singing as well. Ronnie, who's just released a gospel single, his first gospel single in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And I must say, Darren Andrews. Not just because he's family, but he's a very good musician, very talented, very down to earth, and very helpful in terms of helping to build other musicians to get where they need to be.
Okay. Done. Okay. So, what is your most favorite song and beat that you've produced so far?
So, favorite song and beat, that's a difficult question as well. So, I think for favorite song, there's a song I wrote, and I've not yet put that song out.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Okay. So it's still in production.
It's I won't say it's still in production. It's on my computer.
Okay.
But it's When I Dream of Angels.
Okay.
So basically, it's a song about people losing their loved ones.
Okay.
It was basically about a husband losing a wife and how it felt. And basically, the chorus is When I dream of angels, I dream of you. Right? That's my favorite. And I also have a song that I'm currently working on as well, which is called Life Climb. And I can say that's one of my favorites as well.
Okay. Favorite beat?
Favorite beat? I would say the beat on Life Climb, that rhythm, which a song was also done on it called Just Keyz. Yeah, it's a very nice rhythm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I guess something to look forward to. So what are a few of your recent projects and when can we expect to hear them?
So as I said, Life Climb is currently in the making.
Okay.
The beat is done, just the vocals need redoing and editing.
Okay.
Then going into mixing and mastering stage,
Okay.
and then hopefully get that out midway through February, coming up to the end of February.
Okay. Okay. So looking back, now we're seeing how talented you are with all the skills that you've got. If you could, what advice would you give to your younger self?
So advice to my younger self, I don't know, it would be to push a bit harder in terms of my music, because I know I have talent. I've never done music. I've never been to like music class to say, but I can play the piano, I can play the bass guitar, I can play the saxophone, I can play drums, I can produce everything that I need to use for my my beats and so on.
Okay.
So I guess it would be to push a bit harder, because I think my love for music could have been a drive to make it my career, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Very multi-talented. Sure. Okay, so looking back, tell me one thing you would have done or could have done to improve on your musical pathway.
I think I could have started a bit earlier, to be honest.
Okay.
So, as you know, when you get married, things get a bit more expensive. They look a bit more expensive to you. So, I guess if I started before I got married, I could have acquired a bit more stuff and at the minute be doing a bit more. So, yeah.
Okay. So, name me an upcoming artist that you've worked with recently that we should be looking out for.
So I've not really worked with a lot of artists. I've worked with a couple people. I've done a song with Hyamets called Just Keyz. I mentioned that before. So he's one of the people that I've worked with and I enjoy working with. He's very lyrical. He has good lyrics. So I've enjoyed working with him. I've done songs with myself, so production of myself, and also my wife as well has done a couple of gospel songs as well, so yeah.
Okay. Name me 2 artists that you would like to collaborate with in the future.
So I like to, so myself and Troy actually plan to do a collab on a song. So that'll be upcoming in the future. I think we finished one verse and we're just looking to get the rest of it done. I'll also like to collab with Darren Andrews.
Okay.
He's also multi-talented. He has a bachelor's in music from one of the top universities in Jamaica.
Okay.
So I guess with his skill and his talent as well, having a collaboration would probably get the music more out there, you know?
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so having completed projects in gospel and reggae, what other genres would you like to explore?
In terms of my music and the vibe I try to push, I try to keep a positive vibe, because as you know, I'm Christian, so I'm not gonna really push music about guns and drugs and trying to pull down women, if you see where I'm coming from, in terms of the way that music today is going.
Okay.
So I think I'll mild dancehall.
Okay.
Nothing vulgar or violent, but positive stuff that people can listen to.
Okay, that's good. So, which aspect of your craft do you enjoy the most?
I quite enjoy the production side. It's a skill that I think it would take a lifetime to master.
Okay.
Because it's not very easy to mix a track, get everything right, and then master a track as well. It takes a lot of work, and it's very taxing on your ears as well. Because, for example, I have neighbors next door. In the middle of the night, if I want to edit something, I have to use headphones.
Okay.
And over time, having headphones on your ears, you get really tired as well. But I think mixing and mastering one of my favorite things to do.
Okay. So, would you be able to name me at least one producer that you would have liked to, or you admire from the past, and then present, and why?
Well, I know everybody's favorite at the minute. A lot of people love Dr. Dre, and But I won't say that he's one of the people that I would want to work with, because I'm kind of a humble guy, and I like working with people that are building as well.
Okay.
So I would say I would love to work with Darren Andrews. He's also into production. There's this guy that I look at on YouTube as well that I've learned most of my skills from, called Andrew Schreps. I would like the opportunity one day to be able to shadow somebody like that and learn a bit more about production.
Okay. So in regards to music in Vincy, do you think it's being appreciated? And how do you think it can be improved?
That's a good question, actually. And it's hard to say that Vincy music is not appreciated, although most of the time it looks that way. For example, I did a song, Young Men Rise Up. It was basically after another woman got murdered in Simonson. I sat down the night and I wrote that song. And so basically the chorus is, young men rise up, lift your head above the water. Young men rise up, violence is not the answer. Right? And I did that song, sent it to a couple people home, like DJs that I know on radio stations and so on. Sent it to radio stations as well. And the only radio station that played it was NBC. Right? So even some of the guys that I've worked with at while I was working at SVG Broadcasting Corporation, that used to work in Hits FM and so on, I've sent it to them, but they don't really pay attention to it. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes in Simonson we tend to forget about our own talent. And I was speaking to somebody recently and they were saying they went to Simonson on a holiday and the only music they could hear on the radio was dancehall music. There was no real local music playing on the radio. And I think the radio stations in Simonson don't really push out the local music as much. That said, there are few musicians in Simonson, let's say Icon, Skinny Fabulous, Fireman, those sorts of people, their music gets played all the time because they're well known.
They're well known, but their music is normally played in-house, and it's only normally around carnival season.
Yeah.
Outside of carnival season, most of these artists actually don't get played.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than the likes of Skinny Fabulous and the Fireman.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think we can improve the platform of music in St. Vincent then? What do you think we can do to aid in highlighting the talent and getting the music out there for these young artists?
I'll give you one example. So BBC Radio, which is in London, they have a forum where new artists and producers and so on can submit music.
Okay.
It's not necessarily going to get played on the radio, but they get somebody to listen to your music,
Okay.
an experienced person, and give you feedback on your music.
Okay.
And I think this would be a good thing for Simonson, being able, the radio station setting up something whereby young and upcoming artists can submit their music,
Okay.
somebody listen to the music, listen to the production, listen to the style, the lyrics, the beat, and give feedback.
Okay.
Sometimes as upcoming musicians, all you need sometimes is just a helping hand, just somebody to say, okay, you made a good effort, but you can do this next time instead, or you need to bring the vocals down, or you need to spread the vocals a bit more,
Okay.
something like that. Just a little advice sometimes can go a long way.
So can you name me your top 3 artists or producers right now?
Do you want artists or producers from Simonson or?
It's up to you, your choice.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
So, top 3 artists. So I'm a huge fan of Luciano.
Okay.
So he's a reggae artist. Reason being, all his music are positive. Chronix, huge fan as well. Everybody loves Buju. Most of his positive music I really love.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 more actually. So I've mentioned Scorpion before. His music as well, they're very different from the other soca music that you get in Simonson.
Okay.
And also I have a couple of favorite songs from Icon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about
So let me just get it out there. I listen to soca. Okay?
You're not allowed. So what about producers then?
Producers. Darren Andrews at the minute.
Okay.
His production style is all about instrumentals. It's not there's not a lot of vocals, but the way he gets his music out and the way that he gets his vibe across is very unique. You understand? It's different to how everybody else in Simonson does it, and I think it's very refreshing. But what I'd like to see a bit more of from Darren Andrews is basically taking a lot more vocalists, a lot more upcoming artists under his wings and nurturing them, because I think Simonson has a lot of talent, but it's just there's no real avenue for showcasing your talent, if you get what I mean.
I know when we, I know back in the day we used to have a couple of talent shows going on for the kids, keep them busy, keep them occupied, but then showcasing their talents. So we used to have dancing competitions. That's how the likes of Icon and Hard Knock Family and Skinny and these guys got their avenue to perform and showcase their talents. That's how it started, and all that's no more. So we're looking to hopefully in the future, bring back these platforms where artists can have that opportunity to showcase their talent right at home. So hopefully we'll get there soon.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I originally started off in primary school, so I started singing calypso in primary school. I did a song written by, I think it was Nigel Morgan at the time. He was my teacher in primary school. And it was when you are tempted by your friends to use drugs, tell them you know drugs are deadly medicine. It'll bring you pain and bring you shame. Tell them to go long, be strong, you won't be wrong. Keep fighting peer pressure, be strong and be sober. Don't make coke and ganja, mess up your future. Keep your morals high, don't let them die. Drug users and sellers, those things are not for me. You know what I mean? And that's how I started off. But I ended up pulling out from going to Calypso Monarch Junior Calypso Monarch in Simonson, because at the time I was doing a crusade in church, and I thought it's a bit counterproductive, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Oh, I see. Well done. So what, other than the project that you said you're working on, is there any other projects that is upcoming for yourself?
I think at the minute, the projects, in terms of doing projects with other people, they're a bit on hold at the minute because of coronavirus, obviously. So at the minute, that's just a bit on hold.
Okay.
But hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get a bit more artists in. Also, I'm hoping to be able to get my own space, like a proper space to do my music production.
Okay, that's good. So where can potential artists or producers contact you?
Well, you can contact me on Facebook if you just look for Alex Royal.
Okay.
You'll be able to find me there, or if you drop a message to Keyz here, she'll be able to get in touch with me if you need to.
So what would you do to encourage persons to come to St. Vincent?
So I always encourage people to visit St. Vincent. I'm always showing people videos and pictures of St. Vincent, and always encouraging them to go on things like YouTube and so on and look for videos. Okay. However, I don't think that the tourism department in St. Vincent is doing enough to promote St. Vincent as a product. For example, in the UK, you don't see any ads on TV about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? You always see Barbados and the Grenadines, Grenada and the Grenadines, St. Lucia and the Grenadines. Everybody else promoting the Grenadines except St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I think that more can be done, a bit more effort can be put in, try to invest a bit more into selling the island, because it's a beautiful island.
Yes, it is.
You understand? St. Vincent have one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere. We have the La Soufrière. It's kicking up at the minute, but the view from La Soufrière is beautiful on a sunny day. Okay. You understand? We still have all the petroglyphs we have Vermont Nature Trails, we have the waterfalls, we have the Grenadines. You know what I mean? Lots of stuff that can be put together to sell Simonson as a product.
Okay, that is so true. There you have it, guys. We've come to the end of our interview. Thank you, Colroy Joseph, for popping in, aka CJ Production. But before you leave, drop us a little something.
So I'm just going to give you a little taster from the upcoming live climb. I'll probably just give you the first verse and the chorus. I think that should be enough of a taster.
Yeah.
Gamma say hard work brings success. Man work hard, still we not drive the Benz. Pockets empty, but we not beg no friends. No matter how we struggle, we gon' rise in the end. Tree hustle me and love me a house man in. Even when me hungry, me not beg none of them. My thoughts are rust, me free, me not trust none of them. Just pass them wrong and that be the end. None of them come around, but them and your friends. Wish you well, man, they know what if you rise, they can't them. Say they want to see you rise, but the rise above them. Wish you well, be as long as you live in them. Them don't want to see you strive and be independent. From them and me and try if you reach it up. Me promise granny me never sell no crap. Make a vow to myself you never shoot no clock. Never rob, never kill, never rip no crap. Cause you never can tell how close you are. The road to success always seems so far. So stick to the fight when the hardest hit. It's when things get rough that you shouldn't quit. Climb the hill. When the rich man asleep, we are told by the end. Every hustle we are juggle is a mean to an end. You know the struggle real. And by them me depend life climb the end. When the rich man asleep, me a told by the ends. Every hustle me a juggle is a means to an